giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom News Leaders.
And welcome to Mediacom News Leaders. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carol Kelly. Joining us today is from the City of Cedar Rapids Mayor Pro Tem. We've got Scot Olson. Scot, welcome.
Thank you.
So it's hard to believe June of this year marked 10 years from the floods of 2008. And the city has come so far in these last 10 years. Tell us a little bit about permanent flood protection and why it's important for Cedar Rapids.
Well, I think as many of us experienced in 2008, the devastation of a flood is beyond belief. And we have been very fortunate that the community has come together. We've been able to recover and turn what was a very horrible event into a very positive transformation of Cedar Rapids. And we're currently being used as a model throughout the country of how a city can recover. And that's why we received the All-America City Award because of that recovery effort. But people need to know that if they're going to continue to develop, especially near the river or other areas, that it's going to be safe. And so I think the community now is feeling comfortable as they're seeing construction start on various segments of the wall that we are going to have flood protection, and recent announcements have reconfirmed that, and so that they can continue to develop and build new projects and feel comfortable that someday that there'll be a permanent system so we don't have to worry about what happened to us in 2008.
And there has been a lot of development. Even can we highlight some of those that are over the past 10 years? Well,
I think that we've done many things for our infrastructure. Raising all our wells so they're not impacted by a flood like this again. Protecting our water pollution plant. Moving all of the city facilities out of the floodplain area so that we have city services that will continue if we have another flood. We've also proven in 2016 that we can fight a flood even though the system is not completed with temporary HESCO barriers. It was $10 million to do that, and then there's a survey that was done that showed there was about a $25 million economic impact to the businesses that had to shut down and protect themselves. So the temporary flood protection, and that comes right out of our pockets, our budget, to a temporary flood. So it's important that we complete the permanent system so that we do not have to continue to, hopefully not in the near future, use that system again. But what's exciting is that the Corps of Engineers and FEMA were so impressed with the efforts that they use us as a model now for other cities in the country, how you can get together and fight a flood with temporary flood protection. And then, of course, the recent award is a signal that they like what we're doing and that we're making a difference.
And we have to talk about that, the success of the fact that we have now been awarded $117 million from the federal government for flood protection systems. So that's a huge success. So what's the remaining need then in order to complete the system?
Well, the total system is estimated to cost $550 million. And with inflation, that could grow to $750 million. And so now we originally had some federal grants and funding that we've already received and utilized. We've also invested city money, about $10 million into the flood system. And we are receiving our state money, a very unique program that's statewide that allows us to use sales tax growth, a portion of that, toward flood protection. That will generate $280 million. And then we have to fill the gap after we now know what the federal amount is. And we're looking at a series of different ways to fund that over the next several years. And the debate that's going on is how fast do we bring that money to the table, probably through bonding, and which will impact taxes. And so what we're trying to do is determine, can we complete the flood wall system sooner than 20 years and hopefully much less than that.
What are the most important things that you'd like the Cedar Rapids residents and businesses owners to know about flood protection?
It's underway, it's being built, it's working. It's also becoming an amenity because of the McGrath Amphitheater and the trails on top of the levees that we're going to have. And so what we're doing is turning what is a system to protect us into something with parks and other things that can be used by the public for many years to come in a very positive way.
And there is a booklet that you can pick up at City Hall?
There is a flyer now that talks about all the efforts going, and it's very exciting to see all of that listed, the things we've accomplished, and you're going to see a lot more in the future.
Well, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
This has been Mediacom News Leaders, your opportunity to get the full story from the most reliable sources, exclusively on Mediacom News Leaders.